Goddess Clíona. Goddess Clíona, patron of Cork County, guardian of our crops, delivering us a bounty. She loves her people, minding us all, from the rugged Mizenhead to the sandy shores of Youghal. She resides in the palace of rocks near Mallow. She bathes in Gugambara, where the waters are quite shallow. She's queen of the fairies, a shepherd to our herds. She heals the sick with her 3 singing birds. She glides on the waves, guiding ships to shore, round the Beara Peninsula to the harbour at Glandore. She helped Michael Collins. She whispered to him, heed, if you listen to me, your people will be freed. She went to Crow Park and let her birds sing, while she entered the soul of the great Christy Ring. If you feel it's all too much and you need a little prod, yes, you're Irish by birth, but you're Cork by the grace of God.
Pathways. It's nice to be happy, not so nice to be sad. It's nice to be warm, not nice to be cold. It's nice to be left and nice to be right. It's nice to be bright, not so nice to be flat. Feel a little bit in, feel a little bit out. Fly a little bit high, but don't get burnt. Fly a little bit low, be sure not to drown. Try different things, see what it's like. Just because it's our way doesn't make it right.
There is Life by David Friedman. Under the snow, beneath the frozen streams, there is life. You'll have to know when nature sleeps, she dreams, there is life. And the colder the winter, the warmer the spring, the deeper the sorrow, the more our hearts sing. And even when you can't see, it's inside everything. There is life. After the rains, the sun will reappear. There is life. After the pain, the joy will still be here. There is life. For it's out of the darkness that we learn to see, and out of the silence that songs come to be. And all that we dream awaits patiently. There is life. There is life.
Ireland. Into your arms you took me, without a question. You offered me a home. Though far away from my land, you never let me feel alone. You, Ireland, you gave me shelter when I didn't know where to go, when I felt lost. Ireland, you were here when I needed you the most. With your people friendly, people kind all around, I knew I will stay here forever, on your ground. Ireland, you gave me a new life, a new start. You healed me when I was falling apart. I love your clouds, I love your rain, and although for that people call me insane, I don't care. I love your cold air, I love your wind through my hair. Ireland, you took me in as your own. Now I belong to you, every bone.
The truth is this: every monster you have met or will ever meet was once a human being with a soul that was soft and light as silk. Someone stole that silk from their soul and turned them into this. So when you see a monster next, always remember this: do not fear the thing before you, fear the thing that created it instead.
Just 69 I'm not. Oh, woe is me, oh, woe is me, I've passed my 60 years and 10. Oh, would we're back those heady days, and be just 69 again. Then free was I to come and go, and make up my own mind, and use the reason God gave me, as when to work and to unwind. But now it seems I've morphed, you see. Is this new creature really me? Am I a chrysalis or mere cocoon? I hope I will emerge real soon. Then I might understand the cause why being o'er 70 brings on laws that do imply I've lost the plot. How sad. Just 69 I'm not.
A letter to Willy Wonka by Stanley, not age 11 and a half. Dearest Mr. Wonka, I think that you're the best. You're brilliant, you're the greatest, you're the top of every test. I love the job you're doing, brewing chocolate for the kids, and what a way you do it. It's just brilliant. It's the best. But if I'm truthful, Mr. Wonka, I love your helpers most of all. The guys who do the singing and are anything but tall. The Oompa Loompas, oh, they're magic, they're magnificent, I say. And I'd sacrifice my right arm to be one just for a day. See, that is why I'm writing. Mr. Wonka, do you know, I want to be a Loompa, and I need to know just how I go about applying for the greatest job on earth, being an assistant to a genius on the perfect chocolate search. So, Mr. Willy Wonka, tell me what to do, and tell me really quickly, because I'm desperate to work for you. Yours, anxiously awaiting a very swift reply, Stanley, not of Cork in Ireland. P.S. Please give me a try.
Why should I let you in? You brought no gift. Stood, hands hanging, when they could be holding my heart. Look, you might say. The fields are diamond bright, the sun creeps up slow, gentle fingers of light, warm with longing, tip the woods with fire. The river sparkles like champagne, and even the first flowers I found for you. The land's awake, and who can sleep when there's such music? Come, dance with me. I would share these, my treasures, all with one as sweet and wild as you. In that moment, your eyes dark with sinful joy, star-shot with glee, I would come to your world-wide arms, leave dappled prints across the fields, chase the high, bright laughter of the morning breeze into the sky-blue shout of the distant sea, until breathless I would rest in the faith I had placed in your smile and be home. But you stand there, empty-handed, confused, when you should have just laid the whole world at my feet.
A poem about the polio epidemic. No hurry at all in house or garden. The children were kept from the danger. The parents suddenly had more time to watch them, to keep them amused, to see they had plenty to read. The city lay empty, infected. There was no more ice cream. The bats were closed all summer. One day my father allowed me beyond the gate with a message to pass through a slit in the blank wall. I promised I would just cycle for 2 hours, not stop or talk, and I roamed along roads. Clear through city and suburbs, past new churches, past ridges of houses where strange children were kept indoors too. I sliced through miles of air, free as a plague angel descending, and the places.
By night one way, by day another, but one constant the bells, they sing out every hour. During daylight a place where 4 different faces meet, at dusk the protector of the street. It takes part in celebrations, singing happy songs, but if you need to tell time, you are sure it will be wrong. 4 faces, 4 chances for you to tempt fate. Which will you choose, or will you be late? It watches over houses and peeks into the garden, the golden Eosk at its top doing its job as the warden. And wherever you wish to go, the direction it tells, and we'll trust it'll be right. Our Shandon bells.
The pub itself because they call it, and the put a bit push away, and I had thought that need a drink on because I could not go to the pub because they call it. And in practice, I could not go to play because in my cases, because they call it.
Pilot by Elizabeth Gibson, for a pilot whale that died after swallowing more than 80 plastic bags. You are such a long way from the first episode, but a pilot you are, and I hope you are proud, as you whistled through waves, navigated kelp clouds, studied all of the charts we will never decode. and now you are broken, lie still and dissected, as bags by the dozen are pulled from your mitts. You saw all the plastic as warm glow of squid, as your landing strip lights as new fuel you detected. We humans are grounded, we disdain the other, we forget just how close you are to our own blood. Our genes not so different, you felt pain as we would, as our mess swelled in you and your organs collapsed. Your beautiful journey abandoned, you hover above us and tell us we should change our path.
How I'm attracted to your misted morns, mystic mistress of dawn. I long for the brisk air that you breathe out, the crackling ice on the lawn. Do you speak through the throat of the robin, or the starling's whining song? Dear lady, tell me if so is true, for I wonder if I am wrong.
Our bittersweet world. Sitting on the top hard, cold stair, I look upon the future, the things I will do that day, the unpredictability. I step down one step, feeling the harsh reality in the root of my foot, a sudden shake flowing up my sensitive limb to my knees and vibrating there for a moment, an earthquake. But I don't stop the current from flowing, I keep walking, a smile slowly unfolding on my stiff morning face, my cheeks expanding vertically, molding into round balls of happiness. I greet the bright souls in the kitchen. The smile is a contagious thing. I face the morning sky, the birds pirouetting in the soft vibrations of angel psalms, the powerful air escaping their precious lungs, carrying the birds' wings far into the unknown. A visible reminder for the day ahead. Let go and swim in beauty surrounding you.
She preferred wooden pegs by Breed Brophy. Agnes loved life. She loved washing, lines pegged end to end, held high le gauloige. Clothes flying free, wooden pegs from Cheap Jack's market stall, held high le gauloige.
Hi, I'm pretty sure you've heard of Lola Padraig, but can I remind you of Clíona? Clíona represents the simplicity of love, timeless, bringing cultures together, bridging gaps through maps, reminding us of our past, our present, and hope for the future. When I think of Clíona, I think of Boa na Báistí, which means rainbows, translation from Berla to Gaeilge. And this represents, for me, a world of colour. Maybe you might only see 7 colours in a rainbow and you've your favourite colour, but you can add to the colour. Paint that picture, make you feel happy. Maybe you can't see the picture, but somebody can describe it to you. If you're feeling troubled, think of Clíona as through gestures and symbols, she will make you glow at night by thinking of her. Through a hug, someday soon, a smile. But if you can't see the smile, you'll feel the warmth of the day. You might not know the time, but you can ask somebody. She symbolizes not fear, but friendly hope for a future together. And she also is from Cork. She is our friendly, healing light, connecting us through whatever country you live in by accepting that we all like different things, and that's okay too. And we all develop at different times than each other.
Smiling is infectious by Spike Milligan. Smiling is infectious, you catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I walked around the corner and someone saw me grin. When he smiled, I realized I'd passed it on to him. I thought about the smile and then I realized its worth. A single smile like mine could travel around the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Start an epidemic and get the world infected.
Yet another song for people who don't come from Cork. This song is simply called They Don't Come From Cork.
They don't come from Cork because they can't cross the road. They wait at the lights and they do what they're told. In the middle of the night, with no cars to be seen, they wait for the red man to turn to the green. On Friday at tea time, when gridlock sets in, they hover around corners like wazzies at bins. They don't realise that with style and grace, that a Cork man can cross any time, any place. We're Norries, we're Sorries, we're Martians, we hail from the banks of the Lee, we're fond of revolt and rebellion, and we'll fight for our right to be free. We're known for our wit and our wisdom, and our skill with a hurl and a ball, no inferiority complex when you come from the real capital. Mick Lynch, Don for Chickens, they don't come from Cork.
Chance by Avril McDonnell. It's not by chance that these things happen. The smile upon the face, the movement of the eye, perhaps the touching of the hair, moving it gently behind the ear. All these things come from within. The emotions rising to the surface, impossible to deny or control. Just as the sun rises, the flowers lift their heads and birdsong fills the air. Glorious feelings and emotions reacting to the wonders.
La Fillette et le poème by Maurice Carême. Read by Aurore Blanquier. Le poème, qu'est-ce que c'est? M'a demandé une fillette. Des pluies lissant leurs longues tresses, le ciel frappant à mes volets, un pommier tout seul dans un champ comme une cage de plein vent, le visage triste et lassé d'une lune blanche et glacée, un vol d'oiseaux en liberté, une odeur, un cri, une clé. Et je ne savais que répondre, jeu de soleil ou ruse d'ombre. Comment aurais-je su mieux qu'elle, si la poésie a des ailes ou court à pied les champs du monde?
Sonnet 98 by William Shakespeare, read by Kieran Last. From you I have been absent in the spring, when proud-pied April, dressed in all its trim, hath put a spirit of youth in everything. That heavy Saturn laughed, and leaped with him, yet nor the lays of birds, nor the sweet smell of different flowers, in odour and in hue, could make me Annie's summer's story tell, or from their proud lap pluck them where they grew. Nor did I wonder at the lilies white, nor praise the deep vermilion in the rose. They were but sweet, but figures of delight. Drown after you, you pattern of all these, yet seem it winter still, and you away, as with your shadow I will these did play.
In certain parts of the country, St. Bridget's Day was celebrated as a holy day, but not in our parish. Similarly, we had no great tradition in the making of St. Bridget's crosses throughout the Killy area. However, from the grown-ups' point of view, this year, whether St. Bridget had a hand in it or not, there certainly seemed to be an improvement in the weather. Snowdrops, peeped out from their little nests underneath the currant bushes, and a genuine feeling of spring pervaded the air. But to us the 1st of February caused some disappointment. It ushered in the end of the snow skiing and sliding. The day dawned bright and mild, with a soft westerly breeze, setting in a quick thaw, which, in a few short hours, gently bared erratic strips of green grass down through our erstwhile ski slopes in Fletcher's Field.
Don't hide your love. I know it takes a while to start to trust, and a faith that shakes before 'twill rise above past time hurt. I'm not asking you to leap, just a step, a footprint at a time, to find where you are happy, to rest within the arms that feel the same love. For who's to say, who's to know? We have only got the moments that are linked, the hearts that beat, the thoughts that think, the little things that say without a word, I love.
Jessica Requin.
Ognuno sta solo sul cuore della terra, trafitto da un raggio di sole, ed è subito sera.
Kad bi meni dali, Brana Crnčević, recituje Evelina Stefanović. Kad bi meni dali jedan dan, ja ga ne bih potrošio sam. Pola dana ja bih dao nekom koji je dobar, a slučajno sam. Igrali bi, pričali bi nešto, trčali bi, skakali bi vešto. Ja i dobar, a slučajno sam. Kad bi meni dali kišobran, ja ga ne bih potrošio sam. Pola mesta ja bih dao nekom koji je dobar, a slučajno sam. Kišilo bi dok mi koračamo, pola tamo, a pola ovamo. Stavili bi dan pod kišobran, ja i dobar, a slučajno sam. Kad bi meni dali jedan dan, ja ga ne bih potrošio sam.
Hold yourself in kindness, the very best way that you can. Choose a path, turn a page. Only you will know the way. Seek the lighter side of things, always find the sun. Make it count with every act, as when it's done, it's gone. Sing the song, dance the dance, be kind to those around you, for although they laugh, you'll never know just what they have gone through. So hold yourself in kindness, with every act and thought. Choose the bright side of the road as you go down the path of life.
Wheeling Cork by Kevin B. Clancy. No more fruit scones at the farm gate, or hike to Elizabeth Fort. Austin J. to Carver, Ray, Central Library, beyond my reach. When poets gather in upper stories, I'm downstairs. At Anglesey Street Station, sky-high doors arrest my entrance. CIT, no crossway, in two-way traffic I J-wheel. On South Mall, ramp is out of order when my bus arrives. Text home yet again, will be late for tea.
On the road to Activa, the lights of spring
of time. Sit at cottage, massive in the sun, with warriors and lady sweet peas, where nightlight shine to steal a chair, and cock to do a stray. A cat is swirled around his nose, tender Mary, stand amused. I sit with dog matcha bell to steer of long ago. Street and Ward Street machine, a man I never know. He told me not to eat too much or steal from another man, to wear a skirt, to brush hair, to be as skillful as I can. I remember Dad being cross at me with a soft backside high right.
Cúrate, mijita, con la luz del sol y los rayos de la luna, con el sonido del río y la cascada, con el vaivén del mar y el aleteo de las aves. Cúrate, mijita, con las hojas de la menta y la hierbabuena, con el nim y el eucalipto. Endúlzate con lavanda, romero y manzanilla. Abrázate con el grano de cacao y un toque de canela. Ponle amor al té en lugar de azúcar y tómalo mirando las estrellas. Cúrate, mijita, con los besos que te da el viento y los abrazos de la lluvia. Hazte fuerte con los pies descalzos en la tierra y con todo lo que de ella nace. Vuélvete cada día más lista haciendo caso a tu intuición, mirando el mundo con el ojito de tu frente. Salta, baila, canta para que vivas más feliz. Cúrate, mijita, con amor bonito y recuerda siempre, tú eres la medicina.
Magnolia Tree by Sharon Hosford. For 11 months you stand there unseen on the garden bank, part of the melody of greens that are Ireland's heritage, inconspicuously blending into a source of relaxation, a sense of well-being. But for 1 month, 1 in 12, you become beautiful, glorious in shape and line, exquisite in colour. I trace the twisting branches each year more intricate and proud, like the antlers of ancient deer who roamed the forest. I greet each blossomed tip in creamy whites and blushing pinks that mirrors part of me my silvered battle shield never shows. Reincarnation of spring, of warm desires and warm intentions, silhouetted against a blue sky, you catch the light and call me forth anew to be young again in at heart.
Ulick O'Connor, Oscar Wilde. After all the wit, in a sudden fit of fear he skipped it. Stretched in the twilight, that body once lively, dumb in the darkness. Quiet, but for candles blazing beside him. His elegant form and firm gaze exhausted, in an empty cold room with a spiteful concierge, impatient at waiting for a foreign waster who left without paying the 10% service. Exiled now from Flore to Sanctuary's desert, the young prince of sin, broken and withered, lust left behind him, gem without lustre, no perno for a stiffener, but cold holy water. The young king of beauty, Narcissus broken, but the pure star of Mary as a gleam on the ocean. Envoi, sweet is the way of the sinner, sad death without God's praise. My life on you, Oscar boy, yourself had it both ways.
An Gabhar sa Scoil. Scríofa ag Sean McGearish. Leita ag Clíona Drew. Is Jock sa Scoil hiúil sin Gabhar, is hí sé sios ar stol. Thóg sé fód os Lorna Tina, is sti sé mar lón. Os a fóca thóg sé labhraín grin, is thusig sé ag léamh. Rinne sé rinca dún an sin, is a bhegal hús san air. Dó sé dúch os buidéil, is hathan sé leis ar nóí. Chur sé pípa cré in a bhéil, is cá sé ag go bio. Ag dul amach an dúrs dó, chuig sé súil amháin, is iontu an áit an scoil ar sé, ach barlam bheith I borc.
An scoil, scríobh ag daithí ó dúlán leita ag cuimhní Flaherty. Obair sa rang, sugas sa hola, gochan a lani ag teach mar macála. Ceisina is freagraí sa seomra gach lá, caitheann is conas cén duine cén fá. Orlóir lán na málaí, picture ar an mala, an mútar a caint is ag tuairte bháile. Scríobh as léamh, feilim is gui,
Ní clog ar Martin go deck on a tree.
A song from Annie. Clear, free, she sings at the window, radiant in a glow of summer sunlight. Bread baking gently. It's a brilliant morning. Clouds roll out to a sticky noon when creatures stop. And in that moment, all is possible. The future's feelings and visions unfulfilled from the past. But in her present, she bends her shoulders, head stooped with the weight of his frailty. Paths of children she will design. The sunlight stops. She shivers. As clouds move over and away from noon, she glances upward and across the road to meet a cold, piercing fury of a steely glare.
Patrick Galvin, 1930, The Mad Woman of Cork. Today is the feast day of St. Anne. Pray for me. I am the Mad Woman of Cork. Yesterday, in Castle Street, I saw 2 goblins at my feet. I saw a horse without a head, carrying the dead to the graveyard near Turner's Cross. I am the Mad Woman of Cork. No one talks to me. When I walk in the rain, the children throw stones at me. Old men persecute me, and women close their doors. When I die, believe me, they'll set me on fire. I am the Mad Woman of Cork. I have no sense. Sometimes, with an eagle in my brain, I can see a train crashing at the station. If I told people that, they'd choke me. Then where would I be? I am the Mad Woman of Cork. The people hate me. When Canon Murphy died, I wept on his grave. That was 25 years ago. When I saw him just now in Dunbar Street, he had clay in his teeth. He blessed me. I am the Mad Woman of Cork. The clergy pity me. I see death in the branches of a tree, birth in the feathers of a bird. To see a child with one eye or a woman buried in ice is the worst thing and cannot be imagined. I'm the Mad Woman of Cork. My mind fills me. I would like to be young, to dress up in silk and have 9 children. I'd like to have red lips, but I'm 80 years old. I have nothing but a small house with no windows. I'm the Mad Woman of Cork. Go away from me. And if I die now, don't touch me. I want to sail in a long boat from here to Roach's Point, and there I will anoint the sea with oil of alabaster. I am the Mad Woman of Cork, and today is the feast day of St. Anne. Feed me.
Ithaca by Roisin Kelly. One day there will be a morning when the 2 of us wake up together, padding over tiles in our thick woolen socks, setting the fire with newspaper twists. Now they're lighting beacons on the cliffs, the red signal fires that mean war. But someday we'll have weak flames in the grate, the honey of pale sunlit days. Think of the cast iron kettle, the small painted jug filled with flowers, the tabby cat unlike any other cat, because she will belong to us. Only a needle will go sailing away across a vinyl record's black grooves, and beyond heather fields, the sound of the ocean like a vast loom weaving the waves. My love, I have seen the future and am not afraid. Our wanderings will come to an end. No more the walking of streets late at night, swallowing half pearls that unravel our lives. No fear of the beautiful goddess, or of the young men who just seem so hungry. No more will I wait for you. No more will you fail to come back to me. I have seen the future through a cottage window, have been an unseen ghost trampling the asphodel, my breath misting the glass.
I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread. When white moths were out on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in the stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled on the floor and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hand and walk among long dappled grass, and pluck till time and times are done, the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
Time, wonderful time, how soon you die. It's so subtle your touch, like that old leather couch. I feel your vibe, every second you arrive. I feel your past, you run really fast. I want you to stop, I can't hear the clock. But if you get freeze, how scary is that piece? I will just make the most, because time is the coast.
Lá féile Pádraig, Gá Bhíle Fiche Hain, St. Patrick's Day 2021. Paddy's Day is on its way, but not like any other. No big parades, no singing bars, no wealth of tourists travelling. The virus has us isolated, or more like house arrest, but it cannot take Lá féile Pádraig, a day of Irishness. So in this year of 21, turn it really green. Yourself, your mask, your house, your everything. But do it safe, no gatherings. Be sure to keep your distance. Web instead, around the world, to friends and family. Don't let COVID-19 stop you going green.
Passages by Avril McDonnell. Under painted skies I lie, dreaming of those bygone days. Days of happiness and tears, when simpler things seem so severe. Of days of play and friends and joy, surrounded by love and not a care, protected by some higher force. We shared our food and dreams and toys. The same sky now is overhead, and I am older with thoughts of then, thinking of all the things I've seen and said, and wondering if I had it over again, what I would change and how I would feel if things had not happened or I had not seen. Now looking back and forward too, smile, reminisce, but keep moving too. Lessons learned, would I do it again? Perhaps, or not. How will it end?
Johnny and the Pencil Eater. In an old dirty shop lived an old ruler called Johnny, who lived with pencils and a sharpener in an old trolley. The sharpener was cross, 'cause the ruler, his boss, would only let him eat grey pencils. The sharpener ran to the lock and ate a rainbow, and the ruler stayed all alone and his tears became stone. From Louis O'Connell, boy!
Will you walk a little faster instead of waiting to a snail? There's a porpoise close behind us and he's gaining on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you join the dance? Will you, won't you? Will you, won't you? Will you join the dance?
Jan Brzechwa, na straganie. Na straganie w dzień targowy takie słyszy się rozmowy. Może pan się o mnie oprze, pan tak więdnie, panie koprze. Cóż się zdziwić, mój szczypiorku, leżę tutaj już od wtorku. Rzeczy na to kalarepka. Spójrz na rzepę, ta jest krzepka. Groch po brzuszku rzepę klepie. Jak tam, rzepo? Coraz lepiej? Dzięki, dzięki, panie grochu, jakoś żyje się po trochu. Lecz pietruszka z tą jest gorzej, blada, chuda, spać nie może. A to feller, westchnął seller. Burak stroni od cebuli, a cebula doń się czuli. Mój buraku, mój czerwony, czyżbyś nie chciał takiej żony? Burak tylko nos zatyka. Niech no pani prędzej zmyka. Ja chcę żonę mieć buraczą, bo przy pani wszyscy płaczą. A to feller, westchnął seller. Naraz słychać głos fasoli. Gdzie się pani tu gromoli? Nie bądź dla mnie taka wielka, odpowiada jej brukselka. Widzieliście, jaka krewka? Zapyrzyła się marchewka. Niech rozsądzi nas kapusta. Co? Kapusta, głowa pusta, a kapusta rzecze smutnie. Moi drodzy, po co kłótnie? Po co wasze swary głupie? Wnet i tak zginiemy w zupie. A to feller, westchnął seller.
Kathleen's song. It's a beautiful day in the month of May, travelling on, singing our song, looking for our freedom once more, just like we used to do before. Come rain or shine, we still travel on. If the weather is bad, we still travel on. Stop in Ballyhay, give the horses some hay, organise a fire, watch the flames go higher. Songs and stories to be told, just like the years long ago. Come rain or shine, we still travel on. If the weather is bad, we still travel on. Say our goodbyes, we still travel on. Together once more, we still travel on.
The seasons change, as do we. I flew in the bright early morns, the wind through the barley. Now I go again, with bundled wool in hand. Yellow poplar, gelid land. Stow away no more than a remnant cress, part of me shall always regress. Meet me once more in ice so bare, to leave you once more, all I have left to spare.
Our Mother Tongue by Siobhan de Puer. See her there, our mother tongue, cut out, bleeding, her orphaned young, mewling blind to what was done, fed on worms they should have shun. Would you save her? If you could, would you stave her mortal wound? To change the lines and make the effort, to shake the mime and break the tether. One by one, her places fell to foreign forces, an English hell. 600 years to the furthest reaches, beaten back to the western beaches. But look, she stirs, the mother tongue inside my mouth, inside the young. In times like these, the dead will walk. In ways like this, the dead can talk.
Tá tír na nóg chúlan tír all in trína chéile. Lucht ceirechos ag siúl na slí gan bróga ortha ná léine, gan béirle a chun ná Gaeilge. Ach fásan clóca gach drim sa tír seo trína chéile, is leirt teangar chúla tí ná hiigi an áireach éasop, is tá sé siúd sa chréanis. Tá cearca ann is all sicín, is lacha rion vahéalach, is gair mór dúmh mar náid sa tíre drana le gach éine, is cat ag crún na gréine. Sa cúne hir tá bóng rá bhélas ónta sí an tílán, cuin leor buclí sean hata tí is trompa ballah néta, is kittel bán mar géan. Is ána hagan tin céirí go néfa trína chéile, tá gaile chud a chúla tí is bídeach lurg díirce chúl gach tí in éireann. Ba bhall am bheith chúla tí sa druchach go déanach, go bhecing ann cuairt gealaí an talahín san éasop, is ina fúca léanta.
Evening stroll by Sharon Hosford. The hedgerows wear a glowing gown of silk, while small birds serenade the end of day. A polka dot of stitchwork hints at fashion, white against the multi greens of May. Tall, waving grass provides the wayside fabric's warp, through which the slanting shafts of sunlight weave. Nettles affect a diamond-patterned background, while bobbly flowered pennies texture leave. A power-walking would-be thin, I stride the verge and frazzle focused, blind to beauty mode, till work whirls, blinkered, and stiff standards fade while soaking in God's pastoral gifts bestowed. So when at last I, loose-limbed, homeward swing, I wear that calm serenity, and I too sing.
Double bass. Northern light warms your right-hand side through the window.
a comforting, familiar orientation in this box room where, compared to the raucous spaces you have known, the sound of silence reminds you that mostly now no one touches you or pays for your perfect pitches, save for the occasional curious hand of a golden-haired girl and a yearly outing or two with the man who makes you sing. Retreat to safety now, settle down, grow bigger around the waist, wood falling back into place.
Awakening by Avril McDonnell. Dewdrops falling, resting on new buds of hope. Colours tightly wrapped in brown packages, waiting patiently for their time to unfurl, in all their glorious shapes and forms. Birdsong in the distance, singing songs of hopeful joy. They too feel the shift in time, the hope in anticipation of abundance. The pain will end, the daily search, for now at least. Life beneath the soil raising its head, searching for the light. Soon the race will show all around, the landscape will be transformed. Within us too we feel the change. The light is higher, staying a little longer, teasing us, filling us with hope of things to come, an old friend returning. Joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure, woven tightly within the reeds of the cross.
Poor Mac McCarthy's tongue was too silky for England's queen to grasp his castle. Blarney still prospers. Appeals to Clíonadh secured and amasses fortunes. But sailors were lost to spectacular reflections her beauty guided, then betrayed, washed away by divine treachery, swept away herself by the same powerful waves that ripple her triple. Who will beautify and heal a goddess washed away and banished, causing loved ones to vanish? I cannot trust in her deity, I won't be beguiled by that ageless beauty. Selfless sacrifice can seem suspicious, the word of life lived as wild as a fox, sacrificially beaten to spiritually beautify, great treasures in transformed hearts, eternal deposits guaranteed to last. Like the saints before me, I will bathe in the blood of abnegation, celebrating eternal healing and peace, offered without the threat of treachery.
She is the Sea, written by Clíona Drew. She is the sea. She is the water, the waves, the power. She is the crash of foam breaking on the rocks. She is the surge that brings you to shore. She is the beautiful cold sting that awakens the spirit. She is the drag of the sand under your feet, the force to find your balance. She is strong. She is fierce. She is healing. She is the sea.
They fear me, for I am a queen. They leer at me, for I am free. I think, I love, I do, and say what I please. I am a queen. They tried to own me and take what only I could give. They ripped the clothes from my back and slashed at my dignity, handed me to ghosts and veils who knew no humanity. Words hurled and snarled to break me down, but they did not succeed. They reddened my skin and scared me in places unseen, stood me in the path of ravenous demons that clawed and penetrated my very being. Paraded me like a circus freak. They tried and tried to make me forsake the power that I held in me, but they did not succeed. Now I speak free of their grip. Loudly and proudly, I escape the ghosts and veils and the lash of their whip with scars and wounds aplenty. Like a battle of old, I hear the lost souls, the justice they seek in the songs I hear them sing. We are queens. They fear us. We are queens. They will hear us. Free from their grip, we rise and sing. We are queens. We are free.
Clíonadh,
Now we are free to kiss ancient mouths in our time. Sweet apples from a golden tree, wake alive, healed. Trembling steel trays, land of concrete promise. Underneath a calico blanket, everything revealed. 3 birds sing Blarney. We hear them in lusty stone, for all the world is red in white matted hair. You rise from the waves, kiss O'Sullivan cheeks, wet feet in West Cork, fairy of the hills, never too weak to speak. We hear you on the tides, whispering through the trees. Clíona, queen of the banshees.
Goddess Clíona. Goddess Clíona, patron of Cork County, guardian of our crops, delivering us a bounty. She loves her people, minding us all, from the rugged Mizenhead to the sandy shores of Youghal. She resides in the palace of rocks near Mallow. She bathes in Gugambara, where the waters are quite shallow. She's queen of the fairies, a shepherd to our herds. She heals the sick with her 3 singing birds. She glides on the waves, guiding ships to shore, round the Beara Peninsula to the harbour at Glandore. She helped Michael Collins. She whispered to him, heed, if you listen to me, your people will be freed. She went to Crow Park and let her birds sing, while she entered the soul of the great Christie Ring. If you feel it's all too much and you need a little prod, yes, you're Irish by birth, but you're Cork by the grace of God.